Matt Ross back with you here on Sports Talk 790. Ime Udoka with us for the second time here on the Matt Thomas Show, headed off to Lake Charles later on today. Now, when I dream at night, Coach, I dream about going to the blackjack table and hitting 21 multiple times, or hitting it on the craps table. You know, I've got a little bit of gambling issue. That's a different issue for a different time. Do you dream about your starting five at this point, or is that still going to be played out in real life on a basketball floor?
I think a little bit of both. We've tinkered with different ideas of what certain lineups can look like, but you also want to see guys on the floor in different units and see what fits together. And so we've done both. Obviously, had guys in the gym some. Have seen guys working out all over the country this summer. And so we just came back from our coaches retreat in Austin a few weeks ago, and we went through all the different lineups and how it would look. But you have an idea of the guys we brought in, the guys that have done things certain in the past, and what kind of fits. And so we've done both, but I wouldn't say dream about it, but we'll get to it here in the next few weeks.
That's because you're a normal human being. I get that, Coach. The coaches retreat, that's got to be some harsh reality of, you know what, here's what we have, here's what we don't have. Is that kind of what it'd be like if I was able to sneak in on that little visit?
Yeah, to some point, I think for the most part, I think we were really looking back on previous seasons and, us not being here, just what we have as far as a group, and, taking a hard look at what we can be going forward. And so we touch on pretty much everything, do a recap of the season and what we want to be going forward this season. So you look at the strengths and weaknesses of the group and how we can improve our team in general.
And the team did improve with free agency, the big moves, of course, being Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks. What was your involvement in that process, and just how did it feel when you finally saw those moves get made?
Yeah, very hands-on. Obviously, we targeted certain guys in free agency, and to have those discussions and see guys be receptive to coming here was a great thing. And then to execute it was obviously a even better feeling. And so to add those pieces, we talk about the experience that they bring, Jeff Green as well, Aaron Holiday, guys that have been in the league for quite a bit of time now. That just elevates your group in general. But, the coaching, new change with us coming in doing what we do, and then the growth with the young guys is probably more paramount than anything.
When you add that kind of experience, what exactly, we always say that, but the material improvement that it'll put on the young players, is a lot of that active in talking to guys, or is that leading by example, or a bit of both?
It's everything, honestly. Just being around certain guys and seeing how hard they work and the work ethic and the day-to-day professionalism and things like that. So some things that are unsaid, but also when they're in the gym together, they have that experience to talk guys through certain things. And our young guys have been very receptive, and the veterans have taken on that leadership role. And so it's a little bit of everything. Certain guys do it with talk, certain guys do it with the actions, and so you got to lead how you kind of lead. But just adding them to the group in general elevates everything.
This team is older than it was when you first took the job, obviously. What have you instructed the younger guys from? And look, you've got little workouts here and there, but you got to be very fair and careful about your NBA rules on that. What can you say, and what have you said to them, how they monitor their playing time, their rest time, not just getting on a court and just shooting just for the sake of shooting, but trying to get better?
Yeah, set these goals, and we're not just out here to get shots up. You're out here to make shots, and so we try to have a competitive environment in everything we do. And for those guys, don't take a back seat to the guys we brought in. And compete like you did every other year, and try to grow your game and elevate, and don't kind of get comfortable because we brought some vets in. I've mentioned quite a few times the growth from our young guys will be paramount to our success. So we're not bringing in veterans to save the day. We're bringing in guys to add to what we already had here. And so for them, they've taken that on. I've seen different guys all over the country this summer and seeing how hard they've worked, and they understand what we're going into now and the expectations we have.
Do you feel like it's funny because it's obviously one team, but there is a veteran faction and there is a young faction. And what do you think you need to do in order to just kind of make the mesh work?
Yeah, I mean, big part of it is bringing in the right veterans. We got guys that have had success, have won championships, and so seeing what it takes to get there. Fred winning one, Jeff winning one last year, and Dylan playing in high-level games throughout his career. And so just in general, we want to bring the right vets in that impart wisdom on the guys, but also show it on the court and aren't just talking about it. And so bringing in those guys, they've done a great job so far. Like I said, the young guys have been receptive, but in general, I think just adding that to our group just lifts the whole group up in general. You know, we're going to coach a certain way, but when you have a guy like Fred VanVleet, he's kind of like a coach on the floor. He's in the right spot all the time, makes the right reads, and so that takes a little burden off of the coaches and also shows the young guys what to do.
You know, it's interesting, Ime, that even though people ask me about Fred a little bit and Dylan, they still want to know about Jalen. Can he be the franchise guy? I don't necessarily have to in today's NBA world. And they also ask me about Alpi. Looks the part on sometimes, and then some parts, as you've seen on scouting, defensively there are some issues. Foul trouble becomes an issue, and the fact that you can't stretch him out as much as you want. So give me a thought or two about both those guys real quick.
You know, the potential stands out immediately. You see all that room for improvement that they have, but also the potential is real, and that's something you can't teach. And so Jalen is a guy that just flashes, you know, athleticism, scoring ability, and some of those things. Our job is to make him more well-rounded and competitive on both sides of the ball. And so for us, you know, with a guy like Jalen, yeah, he can't be a cornerstone. He has all the potential in the world, but potential is just a word until he kind of achieves that. And so for us to push him to get to reach that is the biggest goal with him. As far as Alpi, what you said, you see all the intangibles, all the things he does well. He's one of the best low post scorers in the league, great passer. So he has all these things that he does well, and it's just more of an effort and mentality shift, especially on the defensive end. And so our job is to put him in positions to be successful. Guys do have limitations, and we have to work around that, but also challenge guys to change their mindset as far as that, because you've seen lesser athletes and guys with less foot speed and less IQ become great defenders, and so he has all the intangibles.
For sure. I'm looking forward to seeing your practice later this week. You will not do 2-a-days. You'll do one longer practice, right? Will the guys be like, or that's not the point of a practice? It's making the most of your time?
No, I think we've been in the gym quite a bit, and we have a good baseline to where we're at right now.
So they won't be shocked by anything that you throw out?
No. We've seen guys, and they've been working hard this summer so far. So guys aren't coming in out of shape, you know, like back in the day you used camp to get into shape. Guys are really know, in shape, been working hard and understand what we're trying to achieve this year. And so directed by some of the veteran leadership, they've been in the gym working already, and I don't think it's about that. It's about kind of implementing the system that we want to put in and those things more so than getting in shape and running guys into the ground in the preseason.
To wrap it up, are you kind of anxious yourself? It's been a year away from the sport, just to blow the whistle, to yell at somebody for a little bit?
Yeah, it's funny because –
not me, hopefully, but I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, obviously I'm ready to get back into it, and we're all excited as a staff. But even some of my coaches mentioned in summer league practices, which I didn't coach. Obviously, Ben Sullivan coached that. But I'm in the gym with guys jumping from station to station. Ben was like, "You look like you're itching to get back out here and coaching in summer league." And so it was good to get out there. And then, like I said, being in the gym with guys in California and watching them work, you get to touch and you know, impart some wisdom on them already. But it's nothing like training camp getting going.
Well, I'm beyond excited to call your games again this year. It should be a lot of fun. Thank you for the visit.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Ime Udoka